Myself is Krishna. I work on data analysis projects. One such project is a project named Data Analysis of Atliq Hardware using Excel as well as Power BI. In this video and future videos, I am going to explain why Excel is necessary and how the task can be done using basic Excel, advanced Excel, and in what places Power BI can be used in cases where the data is too long or too big. In such cases, when it is difficult to handle in Excel, we go for Power BI. Also, for having wide variety of graphs and huge interaction with the server base, Power BI is necessary. How we are going to do it? How a project can be done in Excel and Power BI. I'm going to explain all these aspects in this video in the coming slides. So here we can see that in order to perform the data analysis, I have taken a sample data from a company named Atliq Hardware. This is not a real company; it's a makeup company. So, in order to explore, in order to have a data analysis project, we have taken the data of sample data. And in any company, when we are going to discuss, we need to have the most important prospect is when we need sales. We need to have a customer, we need to have market, we need to have product, and the sales. So here we can see all these things have been saved in different tables. There is a customer table, and this customer table is having a own set of table and own set of data. So here we can see the customer table. In similarly, you can see the customer table having customer code. So wa- there are around 189. There are around 189 customers. Similarly, if we close this customer table, we have another table named market table. So the where the products have been where the products of Atliq company and the hardware will be sold. They have to sell these products in different countries like Canada, USA, and different regions. Similarly, we have one more table named the product table. So what are the different kinds of products which the Atliq hardware company make and where it's going to sell? Everything we are going to discuss in this video. So the different products will be the notebook, no, PC, as well as the not PC, as well as desktop peripherals, processors, solid state drives, and there are different kinds of products that these companies make. So the everything is saved in the form of tables, and we have to communicate between these tables using some key, a primary key and well as foreign key. So finally, all these products and in different markets and different markets, the Atlic company it has sold over a span of around 2 to 3 years. So how much this the total number of sales is the Atlic hardware has done over the past 3 to 4 years from 2018 to 2021 is it's accounting around 7 lakhs 99,000 and 962. So this is the total amount of sales. So we have to do a perfect data analysis in order to know which product has been sold more, which product has been sold less, and which is the most demand product, which country is selling more. All this comes on the data analysis project for in order to do a better business. So we are going to discuss about these things in this video. So the most important priority, the most important thing in this is the total number of customers of Atlic Hardware is 189. We have seen in this in an Excel video. So similarly, the total markets are 23. The countries Canada, USA, Australia, America, and even the total regions European Union and APAC is Asian Pacific, and the total subzones Northeast America, Southeast, rest of Asia, India. The total products, the total 298 products, which is again subdivided into number of product segments and product categories. The total sales of around 7 lakhs 9,962 from September 2019 2021. So using this data, we are going to perform which product, what are the total number of net sales, as well as the cost of total goods sold, the total net means like what is that net cost which the company is incurred. Similarly, the gross margin, which is equal to net sales minus cost of goods sold. Net sales minus cost of goods sold. So a gross margin percentage is gross margin by total net sales sold, as well as top five and bottom five product sales wise, which product like mouse. If the mouse has been sold over the past 5 years, around most number of sales is done in the case of mouse, which means that comes in the top five products. The bottom five product could be keyboard or a joystick or any other thing, as well as the total the sales in country wise as well as market wise. So we have for in order to do a better performance, in order to know the whereabouts of a company, how the company is going to perform. These are the basic parameters which any company has to look into it after working for around 2 to 3 years. So these things we are going to discuss in this video. After taking all this data, the most important thing is we save all the data in a folder. And what is the final report we are going to it? Already have done the project, and what are the output? What is from this project is like what we can observe. So as I have discussed previously, any company or any hardware company, anything, any business involves sales. So the finance thing is what is the total number of net sales, and the total net sales, as well as total cost of goods sold, the total gross margin, the gross margin percentage. We are going to discuss in deep about the formulas of these net sales as well as measures which I have done in the upcoming slides. So this basic introduction of how this project will be, and also we can see the filters here. So yeah, but I am going to erase it initially. So is erase it. Now the thing is like how this is going to perform. So over the year, how this thing this is called a pivot table, and after taking all the data, we have taken a pivot, and using this pivot, some written some measures, and how I make a pivot table, how I'm going to write measures, how I'm going to do Power Query, how the Power Pivot is done. Everything will be discussed in further videos. This video is basically the introduction of what we are going to achieve after performing the data analysis. What is the end result? The end result is the net sales, total number of net sales over the 4 years. In all the markets with all the customers is 185 million. The total cost of sold, the gross margin is around 69%, which means like 37% is the margin. So if we want to know the in different years, it is a filter option. So you can see that uh, in 2019, that what is the total number of net sales? You can see 19 million, 11 million, 8 million. So also in different markets, in market like Bangladesh, what is the net sales and what is the total cost of the goods sold? Also in countries like Canada, what is the net sales in 2019 in all the years? So we can easily select the data using this filter option and using different customers. And it can also be done vice versa in case of Power BI. But whereas in Excel, the vice versa is if we click here, we cannot get any data. Whereas in Power BI, if we click here, all the other parameters can be changed. How it is going to change the interaction between is done using a software in Vatipack is done in will be discussed in the further videos. So this video is like what is the thing we are going to achieve with the data available using Excel. First thing is like we can know the total net sales, the total cost of goods, the gross margin and margin percentage over the years in different markets and different sales in graphical ways using a pivot table and measure. The second thing is the countrywide sales. So Australia, the net sales, this is called a slicer. So when we click anything, when we click 2018 parameter, 2019 parameter in this slicer, all the countries in 2019, the total net sales, the total cost of goods sold, and the margin. The total net sales, the total net sales, the cost of goods sold, the gross margin, gross percentage with all the companies. They are going to interact. They are going to interact with the data available in an Excel. So initially we have discussed about the Excel video. So in the beginning, the different parameters. So when we go here, so these all these tables are communicating in order to perform our data analysis. So all these tables are communicating backwise, not directly. They are communicating backwise in order to give the different parameters, like how Australia in 14 million in 2020, how in 2021 has got 4 million. The communication between these tables has already been done using Power Pivot. So how it is done will be discussed in next video. So similarly 2021. When we change here, we can see that immediately the parameters is changed, and these are all the conditional formatting bars. These bars are also being changed. Similarly, when we change the interaction between the tables made this to do. Also, the graphs are also changing when we change any parameter here. Similarly, the gross margin percentage are done is in the similar way. The margin in different years or the quarters. A quarter is like the financial year or the 3 months. 3 months of a year makes a quarter. So 3 into 4 finally makes 12 months. So in general, our normal year starts from January, whereas financial year starts from April. So how the sales performance of Atliq Hardware Company or in different countries over the past 4 years in different quarters can be seen here. Also, the top five products in sales as well as bottom five products in sales. So here we can see only when we change any parameter, only the particular corresponding products in the parameter only is changing. So here 2018 the top five products is digital SSD, whereas 2019 it's changed digital SSD 7 million. 2020 again it's a processor which is the top five product in sales. So similarly the bottom five products also apply the similar way, as well as which country is going to is the maximum performance. Here we can see that this slicer is only linked to this table, which is and it is not contained any other table. When we click here, we can see again a pivot table. So all the data communicate with each other with the help of pivot tables and using and also undercurrent background software in Vertipack. So the similar software is being used in Power BI too. And again, the country-wise sales performance is like the total number of sales of country-wise in 2019, 2020, 2021. And we generally, whenever we start any business, they need to be a target. How much a target we are going, we have, like how the company is performing, whether it is reaching the target or not. Here, you can see the target is 171 million. In 2021, it has reached to 90 million, which is like around 92%, it has reached around 90%. Whereas when we compare with respect to previous years, it is performing very well. In 2019, although the 42 million, in 2020 it has doubled, 84 to around 100, 110%. Similarly, when you compare 21 to 22, there is a gross marginal income. So how it is going to change, how the systems is done. And again, the market performance, 2021 target and the percentage of revenue. So all these parameters and also new product, when we need to know any product is launched new, the only thing is like if any product is launched in a new year, the corresponding sales in the previous year will be zero. So when we make any filter kind of thing, value filters, if it is equal to zero, then immediately we can see the which products are there in the next year. We can get the such kind of input. So this video gives a small introduction of how the sales performance and how communication between tables is done is been explained, and what is our key motto, what we are going to achieve using the data analysis. The most important thing is like using data analysis in a market of around 189 countries, and that sales, the cost of goods sold, the margin and the margin percentage, the top five countries and the bottom five countries in terms of sales performance, as well as the top five countries top five in case of market wise as well as country wise. All these parameters can be known if we know how to perform this, how to write a measure, how to clean the data. Uh, the similar can be done in Power Query and Power BI software too, which is very useful in data analysis system. So let's get a deep look into how all these charts, all this has been done in the next video. Thank you.